And welcome back to the Lynn Lowdown. I'm Danny Vittori, and today we're joined by 3 members of the Mass Senior Action Council. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And would you mind just quickly introducing yourselves for our audience? Pam, you can go first.
Hi, I'm Pam Edwards. I'm the Director of Organizing at Mass Senior Action.
I am Rich Smith. I am the president of the North Shore chapter of Mass Senior Action.
And I'm Kathy Paul, and I'm president on the state board.
Great. Full. Now, Mass Action, they've been around for quite a bit, 42 years, which is very impressive. You've done so much on local level, the state level. Would you be able to, for anyone who maybe doesn't know what Mass Senior Action is, how would you describe it?
Well, we're a grassroots organization that gets involved with senior needs, whether it's housing, transportation, Medicare, Mass Health. We work on all levels to try to improve their access to it.
And Kathy, you mentioned you work on the state level, so there's a local chapter in Lynn, but then there's also a state level. So how do you all work together? How does that work with so many members?
Well, it means a lot of meetings. We do a lot of them on Zoom. We do some in person. But getting out there, it's not hard. It's really enjoyable because we're with other seniors who are also doing the same thing I'm doing, fighting for senior rights. It's very important. Seniors, they always figured, the golden years, I'll be all right. Not so. They really kicked us to the curb. But we keep fighting and we keep getting things improved for all our seniors. We work on, like you said, housing, transportation, food insecurity, and all their medical issues. Some seniors were sharing inhalers because they couldn't afford their own inhaler. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Some of them were splitting their pills. That's ridiculous. You need to take your pills when you're supposed to take your pills.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole thing that the doctor told you to take, not part of them.
Yeah.
But seniors were trying to save because they just didn't have enough to make the ends meet to the end of the month. But through Mass Senior Action, seniors found out that there's other people just like them. They're not in their own boat. We're all in the same big boat. And we won't let that boat sink.
Oh.
So that's what we do.
You connect seniors, you connect anyone who wants to get involved because anyone can join the council, correct? You don't have to be a senior?
You don't have to be a
It
senior,
doesn't be
no.
a senior to be on the board.
Oh, okay, so that's how it works.
Decision making is always with our senior population because we always work on issues that affect them. And our recipe for change is that the people in the community that's affected by the decisions should have a say at the table.
Because you mentioned that as one of the things you did in Lynn, not only advocating for the new senior center, but saying the Council on Aging would be in control of the budget. So really making sure, because that's money is where a lot of the control is.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And I remember another big thing as I covered it was the VA clinic in Lynn. That was another huge project that
How
you took on.
dare they take that away from our veterans? They served our country. And so we decided they served us. Now we're going to take care of them. We're not going to let it leave here. We lost the other hospitals, but we weren't going to lose the veterans. They deserve better.
And it serves thousands of veterans, so where were they gonna go?
Now, in the
To
people,
Boston
Oh,
or New Bedford, a whole day trip.
yeah, the many veterans that we spoke to during that campaign, they had tried that. They had tried the shuttle to Boston, but they had to get on at 7:15 in the morning. And let's say their appointment was at 9. And you're in the doctor 15 or 30 minutes. They had to wait there the whole day until 2 o'clock to come home. When right here, we need health care in Lynn.
Yeah.
And so we were determined to make sure that the veteran's voice was heard and that the VA administration thought twice before taking that health care out of here.
which is it's all incredibly an admirable thing to fight for. And you focus on so many issues: healthcare, long-term care, civil engagement. How do you, not like how do you pick, but how do you kind of decide where the focus goes?
We find out
People
what,
go to meetings and they open their mouth and say what they think should be done, and we all just do it.
or we find out where something's going on, like if they're going to do a budget cut or something like that in the City Hall, we'll go up there and have a bunch of blue shirts in the audience.
So you're known at the state how it says the blue
Blue
shirt.
Shirt Brigade.
Yeah.
I like that. You do it, and you're making yourselves visible, you're making yourselves heard, because they can't ignore that.
We try to be the squeaky wheel. We know that personal stories can really affect how budgets are formed, how decisions are made. And so that is why we always try to get community members to add their voice whenever we're doing any decision. We have subcommittees that you can get on if the third Wednesday of the month doesn't work for you here in Lynn. There are plenty of Zoom meetings that you can get on. Right now, we're plaintiffs in a suit against the state because they are not properly funding and distributing long-term care services the way that the American Disabilities Act said that they should. So right now, that committee is really focusing in on that and to try to improve long-term care. We got a call yesterday from a gentleman who is going to lost his leg, and his house needs like a ramp and needs to be handicap accessible. Well, instead, right now the options are you pay $10,000 a month and go into a nursing home, lose your home, spin down, and then the state pays for the Medicaid at that $10,000 facility. I think for $10,000, the guy could be able to get a ramp in his house and, you know, fix his bathroom so that he can get in it with his new situation. So those are we try to go to the root of the problem and really strategize and try to fix it, not just for this gentleman, but for everyone. We could do a GoFundMe page and say, let's help this person. But then what about all the other people that are in that same situation as him? We want to try to make it better for everyone, and so we try to fix the system.
So getting to root causes, root issues to try to help as many people as possible. And on the focus of housing, I didn't realize what was going to be going into the former Union Hospital site, new subsidized housing. It seems like that was, you were involved with that?
Yes.
Yes.
We were involved trying to stop them from closing Union Hospital, but deep pockets won. And but we did talk to the realtor, and he made it so there's going to be a lot of the low-income housing going up there.
We did a postcard campaign when then it was called Partners Healthcare. Now it's, I don't know, Brigham and Women's Healthcare or something, that they paid $750,000 to get that new name. But they couldn't keep Union Hospital open because they didn't have the money. But we did a postcard campaign because they were going to give it to a for-profit developer that also built on Monroe Street here in Lynn. Was going to let him buy it. And we made phone calls to the board at Salem Hospital, and we also wrote letters. And fortunately, our friends, Salamini and those came to and put in a bid and are now coordinating with a very well-known nonprofit developer, 2 Life, who has excellent services for our senior housing. And it's going to be a beautiful complex, and it's going to be very nice for people to transition and to retire there.
As you said before, your seniors you should be taken care of course. Like everyone in the community should be taken care of and deserves that housing and to remain in their own home if they choose to.
Yeah, years ago they told us to save for your retirement. Well, people did save. They didn't go on extravagant vacations and do a lot of things they saved, and now they're being penalized because they saved. But it's not much money that they kept. If they own a home, if the roof falls in, you got to pay for it. If the foundation crumbles, you got to pay for it. If the boiler breaks in the middle of the winter, you got to get it fixed. So having a little bit of money on the side, it gets gobbled up quick, but they don't see it that way. But we know what it is. So that's why we've been fighting. And our governor is going to put in that the asset limit will be lifted off of the MSP, and that'll be a great start. And now if they can just lift the asset straight across the board, that'll even be better. But one step at a time. We take baby steps. But the fact that, yeah, you have to have some money for a rainy day, and they really don't use that money, they keep it. So if they have to repair the plumbing, they can do it, or whatever they have to repair.
Kathy's talking about the health care. Whenever we passed Romney Care, they really took care of people 64 and over, but when you turn 65, if you have assets that are over $2,000, you are cut off all health care help. And that includes your life insurance. So you're 65 years old, 70 years old, and you've been paying into life insurance your whole life so that your family, your children don't have to pay for it or you be a burden, and they hold that against you. It was fine when you were 64 to have life insurance, but once you turn 65, they count it against you. We have legislation in right now to change that, and we were successful, as Kathy said. MSP, which is the Medicare Savings Program that helps you pay for your out-of-pocket Medicare expense, they don't count it on that. We're trying to get the same for Mass Health or Medicaid.
That's amazing that you're trying to do that. You said baby steps, but all those little baby steps are making huge changes around senior care. And said, I wish we could, I think we could stay on all day and talk about it, all the amazing things you're doing, but we're going to have to wrap it up. Before I do, is there anything else that I hadn't asked or anything else you wanted to
Well, we're always looking for new members. It's $10 a year for a single person, $15 for a couple. It's $50 for life or $75 for a couple. And you can get in touch, look on Facebook and on Google, and you can type in Mass Senior Action Council, and you will see everything that we do. And if any of you are interested in also joining us, please do. We have our meetings the third Wednesday over on Church Street, part of Lynn Housing. And all are welcome. You don't have to join right away. Come on and see us. Listen to us. You'll get hook, line, and sinker. You'll fall in love with the situation because you'll realize that we're real. And everything that we're fighting for is to make life better for our seniors.
Very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Danny.
You're welcome. That's
Thank you
very
very
well
much.
said. Thank you for coming on to talk about it. Always appreciate it.
Anytime.
And once again, I'm Danny Vittori. This has been the Lynn Lowdown, and we'll see you next week with more guests.